It is a real great pleasure for me to come and be part of OER Week again this year. I was part of the library was invited last year, and those of you who are at my presentation would have recalled that I gave you some background on what underpins the library's approach to OE based on the International Federation of Library Associations policies and standards, and backed up by the Australian Library Information Association's standards for OER as well. And I think this is a great opportunity to share with the university community our perspectives on open education with particular reference to OERs. And I take this opportunity to also thank VCNP, DVC LTS, LTSS, PVC Naidu, Mr. Campbell, for all the work that they've done in embedding open education into the university's processes. Okay, I'm going to talk about academic libraries and open education, the library's perspective, which is the core of this presentation, and the library's OER portal. But first, academic libraries and OE. Like universities worldwide, the increase in university education and textbook costs made them unaffordable for many students and for libraries as well, given our restricted budgets. But this gave impetus to open education and the production of open education resources. It was a reaction to a case of need. Working on the definition that open educational resources are digital learning objects that are offered freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning, and research, is very clear to us, and it's that the library's role as provider of learning resources, instruction on their use, that the library should be the first port of call for academics and students for OE resources and assistance on how to use them. We are well placed to assist students and faculty. Therefore, the Open Education Initiative falls well within our causes for championing support for learning and teaching. Literature on this issue shows that many institutions, and I quote, are engaging with their university libraries, not only to seek advice about resource description and the application of metadata standards, but also to consider the long-term role of institutional repositories and what they might play in managing these assets. I believe USP is doing just this. Everything the library does is linked to its vision and mission. And particularly, our mission and vision focuses on being a leader in information provision and ensuring equitable and excellent services to our students. The decision by the university to move into OE is for us a direct response to this issue of achieving equity, and by virtue of the centrality of the library's role in information support for learning, teaching, and research, it reinforces implicitly and explicitly its role in OE provision and engagement. Okay, the library's perspective. The library has been involved in policy development, informally and formally. In 2010, you will recall Kathy Moore came to the university as the copyright officer, and she prepared a discussion paper, a draft discussion paper on USP principles for the development of open educational resources. As she was located in the library, this was the first formal attempt to address the issue of open resources and began a very detailed conversation for some of us on this issue. At the time, it took some time for us to develop the policy, and all credit goes to Professor Naidu coming in and getting the policy in place. And I'm pleased to state that the library was part of the consultations and via the 2 workshops with the Commonwealth of Learning. And you will recall what he shared with us on the policy, and I think of particular reference to the library is the section on the judicious selection of OER, something that we do. We are also a member of the University Initiative for the Conversion of Courses and Design of Textbooks, something which Aidan was referring to, and the 25 projects. The USP, like many universities throughout the world, found slow responses to requests from academics for the conversion and creation of new courses. There were few, but it was slow. And what did we have to do? We had to incentivize academic staff and colleagues and professional staff. But that's nothing new. Other institutions, UCLA, University of Mississippi, and California State University had to do the same thing. So it's not as if our academics were treading more slowly than any others. It's been a worldwide approach in order to get these resources done. We advocate for use of free and open resources. The library is a strong advocate for these, and this was affirmed in the review of the library in 2016 by external assessors. What we found is that academics do not naturally think or turn to OERs as an option. Librarians recognize that the identification of suitable OER can be time-consuming when you're researching and evaluating them, and thus many academics prefer the standard textbooks. But we are trying to change that with what we're doing. So we have addressed this as the library in two ways. The liaison librarian program, where professional staff are assigned to schools and programs, and they assist academics in the identification of free educational resources. They are in contact with academics, and where they are not, you only have to ask. It's a matter of a click onto our website to find out who your liaison librarian is, and they will provide you with that service. The other way we do this is ensuring that new course proposal forms include OERs as part of their reading lists. Thus, some of you may feel that the approval of the new course proposal forms take a little longer than you would expect. It's because we check to see that besides quoting and using the materials that we pay for, that there is that element of open educational resources. And we believe that this advocacy has been assisted by the USP Open Text Project, the phased mandatory approach to the use of open texts beginning in 2017 for 100 level courses. And we were a part of this project in assisting and identifying open textbooks. And later, when I show you what our resources are, you will see that there are many open textbooks available for staff. Now, when it comes to metadata and resource description, the library plays many roles, two of which are to organize and manage resources. One of the outcomes of the OE policy is the repository that was launched today. The library strongly supported the establishment of the repository and for it to be located and managed by the library. Metadata and resource descriptions are library skills. To have the repository located with the library will ensure its content is in compliance with the Dublin Core International Metadata Standards that will facilitate consistency, access, and sharing. This is a core aspect of the technical work of librarians and built on international standards. We have experienced in the university where repositories are built without library input, that at the end of the day we are then asked to come in and to tidy up the repository so that it meets international standards and facilitates sharing. So on this occasion, we are really pleased to be in at the beginning. So what is likely to happen in terms of processes, when you upload whatever you have to offer, it will be hidden until the metadata is processed. And that's something we're talking about, so that people who are searching come in from the right angles with the widest possible set of terms. You will put in your terms, your keywords, and the library will manage those and look at all the metadata according to the Dublin Core Standards. Resource management and dissemination. At the same time that the library has responsibilities for acquiring and managing resources, it also has the responsibility of alerting users to these resources. How does the library keep faculty and students informed? It has a portal that lists free books and textbooks online, free journals and magazines online, OERs and recommended websites. And we also have an OER library subject guide. So there are many resources there to assist that complement the work of the liaison librarians. Digital information literacy, finding and evaluating OERs. From observation, many at USP see OER as a new type of resource. In many cases, targeted audiences have to be shown and taught how these new resources are structured. It's like when we went from print resources to online databases. Similar thing. We run courses to do that. In line with the Association of College and Research Libraries, the findings of a panel of librarians researching into OERs said that, and I quote, OERs become additional resources that subject librarians can reference in supporting students. They are also, however, a new form of resource which students need appropriate information literacy skills to assess. Skills such as assessing the quality, its origin, currency, and fit with the student's current learning patterns, end of quote. The library's Information Research Skills Program, an information literacy program, teaches users to acquire these skills. It is important. There is so much published out there, so much presented in open education, that we have to be assured that the quality meets the standards that we are looking for. This fits in very well with what we call open learning and the no barriers to open learning. So with all that in place, in summary, isn't the library the place to go to for open educational resources? It has the capacity to acquire these, to manage them, and to teach users how to use them and appreciate their value. And at this point, I thought maybe we should also say something about where will we go from here. We've been involved in all the processes in the university. We will continue to be. But we think there are some things that we can do, and we will take on ongoing advocacy by the library for the use of OER. We continually expand our list and links to free online resources and books. We're developing ways to better market existing library licensed resources. I think marketing is something that is something needed across the university. And I think for the library, whilst we're located centrally, we're not the first point of call, but we are working towards that. And we will be implementing surveys to obtain users' views on free and open educational resources and their value to learning and teaching in terms of guiding us as to what we should be putting on or areas that need attention. So do I have a few more minutes? I'm fine. Okay. This is the library website. So if you haven't been to it, I hope everyone here has been to it. Look down here, open access resources. So that's what the front page looks like. This is what the open access resource page looks like. And these, where is this? Okay. All right. And this is what I referred to. Free books and textbooks online, free journals, free magazines, open education resources, recommended websites. So there's a wealth of information there. Let me see that. I'll try and take you to, okay. All right, excellent. When we tried it this morning, it worked well. So when you go into these, there's a whole range of resources. Book Boon, online textbooks written by highly respected professors from top universities, well, covering topics such as economics, statistics, and IT. You've got Boundless there. The catalog contains British Library, British newspapers, college open textbooks. So this is a good point for people to start looking for OE, educational resources. And sometimes it pays for the academics and those professionals working in the areas to look through this and then consult with their liaison librarian. So there's much to be seen and shown and accessed and these Khan Academy, MIT Open Courseware, all available through our website by a click. And we're constantly updating this, reading the literature, and seeing what's out there for staff to use. So I thought with that, I would conclude. I've taken you to the website, taken the horse to water, and now I invite you to drink. Thank you very much.